as we said earlier, we've got a lot of great speakers today, ranging from ex-NFL athletes to multi-million-dollar investors and people that have gone through from the bottom to the top. You know, so I started from the bottom, now we're here. That fits our next speaker incredibly well. He is a 9-figure entrepreneur.
Woo!
There we go. Thank you. See, that Lynette, just like all the Cadillacs, that's why Brenda was like, did they not cheer loud enough for how many pink cars that woman drove? Sweet mother. Goodness. 9-figure entrepreneur.
Yes.
He has a mantra, trailer park to triumph. And he has created the maxed out ecosystem, dynamic speaker, business owner, true success story. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Todd. Omaha, man, you know, I like Omaha. We flew in yesterday, we was coming on a plane, and before I start, last week in Dallas, I got in a lot of trouble because my director, Miles, was a camera back here. I talked about his love life in Dallas. He was mad at me for a week, I kid you. I couldn't even go in my studio to even record. But today I got him back. He mic'd me up a little bit ago, so every time I use the restroom, I made sure I set this perfectly. No, but I do, I like Omaha. Omaha's a good place. Last night I went to the hotel with all the guys that came in with me. We were at the Farnham, downtown Marriott. And as I was walking by, the staircase, right in the middle of the lobby, there was this young cat. He had a mic on. He had a film guy there. They were in the stairwell. And I just stopped and talked to him, introduced myself to him. Just, hey man, what are you doing? What are you filming? He said, yo man, my name's Caesar. I do Built by Caesar. I help people blow up their social brands. If you want some help, man, I'll help you. I said, looks good, man. And I was so impressed when I just listened to him because he was selling me already. He was telling me all these things. And I pulled up his Instagram. He had like 233 followers. I said, man, I'm not sure he can help me. But I gave him my name. I said, hey, send me a DM, and we'll talk about it. So I came down about 45 minutes later. We're getting ready to go out to dinner. And I heard somebody yelling from, he's like, yo, Todd, yo, Todd, yo, Todd. I said, what's up, Caesar? He said, yo, I'm coming to Dayton to your event. He's like, I looked you up. I need your help.
That's how you do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
for real though, right? But as I'm walking out the door, I hear him again, yo, Todd, yo, Todd. I said, Caesar, what's up? I'm going to dinner. He said, nobody can break me. I'm unbreakable, bro. I couldn't have scripted that any better. I mean, we're here at the Unbreakable, right? Like, I'm not making that up. I tell stories. This ain't one of them. That's exactly what he said to me. But let me tell you guys a little bit about myself. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio. I grew up in a trailer court. You see, I mean, that wasn't exactly my trailer. It's a little bit nicer than the one I grew up in. But if you imagine the trailer court, it was typical. Something that you would see on an episode of Cops, probably in Arkansas or something like that, except I was in Dayton, Ohio. We had aluminum trailers, skirts missing from the bottom, potholes everywhere. Domestic violence surrounded us, roaches, bed bugs, broken down cars, like poverty mindset. The entire mantra of the trailer court was, this is where you belong. But the most important thing about trailer courts across America is very simple. They're all surrounded by a fence, a very physical fence. And see, people get these fences confused. They think that fences in America are supposed to keep people from coming into your trailer court. They're not. They are designed to keep us that live in the trailer court inside that trailer court. I didn't know that for a long time. I didn't know how broke we were. I didn't realize that there was more than one pizza place or that there was another restaurant that existed besides McDonald's. And it took me a long time to understand where I lived at, and it wasn't until my adult life that I figured it out. But growing up in that trailer park, we had nothing. We had very, very little. I was great at sports. I played football, basketball, baseball. But one thing remained the same. One thing was consistent. No matter how good I did on the field, no matter how good I was on the court, when I came back, I still had to come back to that trailer court. I still had to come back to an environment that was not only shaping my environment, but was shaping my beliefs for such a long time in my life. Now fast forward to 2011. By this time, I put myself through the police academy. I was in law enforcement. I was working as a police officer. I was making 6 figures, but I lost it. My house was foreclosed on. My car was repossessed from the driveway of my new girlfriend, who's now my wife many years later, so embarrassment was there. My credit score was negative. Now listen, I'm gonna ask you guys a serious question. Everybody laughs when I say this. Who in here has had a negative credit score? Raise your hand. Bunch of liars. Who in here knew you could have a negative credit score? Nobody owns real estate and you screen tenants? Okay, you guys are completely messing up my entire story. But my credit score, I knew there was one. Thank you for standing up, my guy.
We're just too embarrassed to admit to it.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, embarrassment doesn't follow me anymore. But credit score was just horrible. And I found myself asking, I said, listen, why is this happening to me, right? Like I was out. I was working in law enforcement. I was doing good. I felt like I had really escaped that trailer park. But then I figured out exactly what it was. Despite that I had gotten out of those fences, on the physical standpoint, God knew something better. God knew that I wasn't ready to buy real estate. He knew that I wasn't ready for buildings to burn down. He knew that I wasn't ready for sewers to collapse. He knew that I wasn't ready to jump into the healthcare space. See, God knew that I wasn't ready to do all the things that I was going to do, to build car washes, to create a 9-figure portfolio. God had to break me down. He knew that he had this impactful armor that he was going to put on me, that I was going to be able to go out and conquer the world, that I was going to be able to impact lives, I was going to be able to come to Omaha, Nebraska and talk to so many wonderful people. But see, you got to get broken down before you ever can get to the point to where you're unbreakable. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't, things are going to hurt really, really bad when bad shit happens in your life. I'm thankful for that experience. What I realized in 2011 was while I had escaped the physical trailer court, I was still stuck in the mental one. Mm-hmm. I was still stuck behind the mental fences.
Right.
Yep.
And let's be vulnerable together for a second, guys, can we?
Yes.
Because I think often we forget all the things that are those physical fences in our life. How many of you in here, raise your hand. Don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed, just let's be vulnerable, let's get close. We have a fire going, we have Toby Potter in here. And I want to set this up. Toby Potter asked me on a podcast not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, he said, Todd, in 2011, if you would have met yourself, if you would have met me, or coaches like me, would your life have turned out differently? My answer to him was simple. No, it wouldn't have. Because in 2011, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to go where I was going to go. I wasn't ready to change the world. I wasn't ready to be me. I didn't know how to be me. It took a lot to get me there. And sometimes we have to figure out what those fences are. And if you're in here right now, I want to see some hands. These are the things that we often don't think about. If you've ever felt or you've heard from someone that you're not skinny enough, you're not tall enough, you're not smart enough, you're not capable enough, raise your hand. Let me see how many people are in here that have all these. Everybody. Okay, do I need to do the next 30? Like, we all realize what these fences are, right? We're the wrong skin color. We're from the wrong religion. We're from the wrong trailer court. We're from the wrong side of the tracks. We don't belong. This is where you're supposed to be. All of those things are our mental fences. All of those things keep us held down. And until we learn to conquer those, things are going to be tough. But guys, listen, here's the great thing about fences. They only work if we stay inside of them. What's stopping you, right? Like, what's stopping us? Climb the fence. Jump the fence. If you're short like me, get a ladder and get over top of the fence.
Fun size.
There's so many ways. Right? See, I was flowing good. You see what I'm dealing with, Grant? Yeah, I was good.
Welcome to it.
Fun size. A little bag of Cheetos. Okay.
I'm fun. That's what I call myself. I'm fun size.
Listen, these fences can be very powerful, okay? That is a fence. I'm stuck inside of it because now I'm like, where was I going with what I was saying? All right? I know that I just got the ladder out. I know that like I was getting ready to step over top of the ladder. And then she said fun size, and now I'm thinking, did I get caught upside down hanging from my pants? I watched Friday last night. It was on TV, like, you know. But we all get it, right? Like, we have to get over these fences, and too often we're stuck behind them. Too often we allow them to drag us down. Guys, this is good stuff.
Fantastic.
Let me hear you if you think this is good stuff. Right? Like, if we're talking, this is powerful stuff. Like, let's go. We have to do it. We're in Omaha, Nebraska. I've never been to Omaha, Nebraska. But I like it. And this room is beautiful. I want to talk to you guys about something that maybe will be a little controversial for some of you. I talked about it in Dallas. And I wrote a couple things down here in a second, okay? But I want you to follow along with me. I think Toby gave me a dirty look in Dallas when I said this. But how many of you have heard this? Finish it with me real quick. If you find a job you love, you will
Never work a day in your life.
never work a day in your life, right? Money can't.
Buy everything.
Money is the root of.
All evil.
Is that all real? Or are
No.
those fences?
Fences.
Let me hear. This is something good. You're going to hear from Jonathan later on. Jonathan's a pastor. We were talking a couple weeks ago. And I said, Jonathan, like, why does it say money is the root of all evil? He said, Todd, it doesn't. He said, go back and read the Bible. And I wrote it down for you guys because I don't want to get it wrong. In Timothy, it says, for love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. It doesn't say money's the root of all evil. But what's he say then? What do we hear after that? Ecclesiastes. You guys ever read that? What does it say? Somebody tell me. But money answereth all things. So money can't be the root of all evil and answereth all things, right?
That's right.
It can't be. It can't be that big of a contradiction. And then what does he tell us in Proverbs? Whoever gives freely grows all the richer. How do you give freely besides acts of kindness if you can't do some of the physical acts, right? I believe that you have to find your passion in life. I just don't believe, and I don't coach, and I don't teach that your passion has to be your vehicle to wealth. There's all kinds of vehicles out there that can take you anywhere that you want to go. Pick the vehicle that you can do really, really well, that will allow you to have fun with your passions, or that will allow you to start your passion. Speaking, making content, making videos, making education. Guys, those are passions of mine. But I didn't make money at those for a very long time. So I had to find real estate. I had to get into healthcare. I had to build car washes. I had to do all of the unsexy stuff that I didn't really want to do so that I could get to the place that I wanted to be. So if you believe that you got to find this thing that you love and that's going to be your job forever, and you're like, oh, money doesn't mean anything, like money's not everything. That's a lie, it is. And if you don't think money buys your happiness, I promise you, it will buy somebody else's happiness. So if you don't care about money, if you don't need money to make you happy, do it for somebody else. Create something amazing for somebody else. Think about the inner city kid that can't afford basketball shoes to play basketball. The church that's trying to put a new steeple up, or that's trying to build a new addition onto them. Think about the homeless that go down that need meals, and all of our homeless shelters are filled up all the time. Guys, any charity across America is funded some way, right?
Yeah.
They're funded by wealthy people that decide to give their wealth away. Or people that gave anything they had extra away. Yes, there's volunteers that come in and they give that way. But guys, money has to be there. Money has to be the equation. Does anybody not believe me? It's okay to disagree. Guys, money buys a lot. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for somebody else. How many of you here have a business? Okay, lots of entrepreneurs in here. I have about 5 minutes left. Let's see if we can get through them. I travel the country, training, teaching CEOs from all walks, every industry. And there's common things that I see really keep great leaders from being absolutely legendary. Legendary people from being just rock stars and killers. Number one, that is very, very common, is comfortable success. And if you guys feel this, let me hear you, okay? Comfortable success is pretty simple. When you were young, when you were just starting out, or when you were a simple entrepreneur just getting into the game, you would do anything. You were fearless. But as you get bigger and as your company grows, now you have payrolls, you have employees, you have your reputation, you have things that you worry about. Things start to scare you just a little bit, and you get a little bit of comfort. And when you get comfortable, you slow down and you kind of lock in. Guys, I'm here to tell you, though, that comfort kills greatness all the time.
Yeah.
Don't be comfortable. Fear of risk at scale is the second one. See, all of us, when we were starting out, we'd take any bet, we'd take any challenge. We would do anything. We were fearless. Like, we would go and we'd run through a wall because all we wanted to do was have that success. But as you get big and fear starts to set in, that starts to scare you a little bit. And it's just a little bit different than comfortable success. Because when fear starts to set in, we start to get a little monotone in our business. We start to kind of ease in just a little bit. And we get really, really worried about the big things. Right? Like you were so worried. Remember when you started your first business and you had to open your LLC and it was $99 or whatever it was, and like that was such a big decision at the moment. I remember it. Now I got like 100 some LLCs, right? I don't know half of them. And you guys are probably the same way. You've started so many things after you opened that first LLC, and that very first decision was almost so painful that you didn't do it. So as you continue to grow, you have to encourage yourself. You have to talk to yourself. You have to constantly have an honest message with yourself that says, don't slow down. Don't give up. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep running through the same walls that you were willing to run through to start your very first business or to make your very first real estate investment. Number 3 is one that I'm very passionate about, guys. And I'll tell you, listen, give it up for Isabel, Grant, Lynette, and Manny. And Kim. As I sit over there and listen, the thing that sucks when you're a speaker is like, people will like use stuff that you're getting ready to use. And then I was sitting over there, I looked at my buddy that's with me, I said, man, I got a minute 54 and I got to rewrite my whole thing. You know, stinks as a speaker. But listen, they're very powerful stories. But one of the things that hit me was when Kenya was talking about some of the mental pieces that go along with it. And for the guys in the room, I want you to hear this. Don't be too tough. Don't be too strong. We all deal with some shit. All right? And for women too. But as you grow in entrepreneurship and as your companies get big, isolation at the top is very real. And every level that you get higher, there's fewer people that you can talk to about the things that you're going through. I can't call most of my friends and say, hey bro, I need to come up with $2.5 million tomorrow. Can you help me out? They'd be like, bro, I'm just trying to get lunch money. You know, like it's very, very real. And every step that you go, it makes you feel lonely at times. There's depression that goes through it, right? Like I call it entrepreneurship depression. It sucks. And when you're doing it alone, it sucks even more. But here's the great thing. All of you in this room right now, you've made a decision. You've made a decision to be here in this room around like-minded people. Now, when you leave here, when you leave any conference that you go, here's what I want you to understand about them. When we run ads for conferences, and I do education and we run live masterminds, there's always a handful of people, oh, bro, this is a scam. These are all scammers, blah, blah, blah. If you leave a mastermind, if you leave a scam, and you take no action, it was a scam in your mind. But if you work the room and you talk to other people and you make incredible, real connections and real relationships, and maybe you find a mentor, maybe you don't find a mentor, or maybe you just find a friend that you can talk to when things don't seem like they're going your way. That's where the real power is. That's what these are. These rooms aren't going to change your life in day one. They're not going to change your life if you go to 20 of these. If you go to a Grant Cardone conference and you leave, which, by the way, I'll be with him in May down in Miami, and Tim Story. But I've been to those conferences. I've sat in those rooms. I felt empty when I left. I did that for many years. But in 2019, I figured out the trick. The trick wasn't in the message. The trick wasn't in what they were teaching. You guys, do you hear this? Do you understand this?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what Toby says. It doesn't matter what Ruben says or Grant says. The trick in the masterminds, the secret in the masterminds, is the power inside of every single person in this room to find somebody else that they can connect to on a real level, not a fake level.
Yep.
And then when you leave here, you don't stop. You keep going. You talk on the phone. Every week, every day, every month, you find somebody else to talk to, somebody else to meet, somebody else that you didn't think that you would get along with. That's where the power's at. The power's in networking. The power is in connections. And if you sit back and you think that somebody's going to change your life, it's not happening. Nobody's coming to save you.
No.
Nobody. You got to save yourself. So if you leave here empty, it's your fault. Somebody said earlier, I forget who said it, maybe like, who said it? When you were Kenyan, you weren't really doing a good job. Everybody was clapping you on. You guys remember that? Who said that? Was it Kenyan? Guys, if you leave here and nothing changed for you, it's on you. And if you want somebody to stand up here and tell you how great you are and give you a trophy and put a ring around your neck and say, you guys are incredible, that's not me. You probably are incredible. But you have to dig down deep and you got to find what's stuck inside of you that you just haven't let out yet. Where's the dragon at? Where's the beast at? Where's the dog? I told this story in Dallas, very true, a couple weeks ago. I coach 8th grade basketball. My son's on the team. We went into overtime. There's 57 seconds left. All right, now I have an inner city team. They're hyped. They're strong. They're competitors. They come to the bench like, all right, coach, what's the play? What's the play? What's the play, coach? I'm like, first of all, calm down. I got my whiteboard. I got my dry erase marker, and I threw it on the bench. They said, coach, we need a play. Coach, we need a play. I said, you don't need the play. You've heard the play all year. You've practiced the play all year. What I need you to do at this point is to hit your chest, go out and find the dog inside of you and win the damn game. That's what I need you to do. I need you to execute. You don't need me to give you the play. You've got it. You've heard it. It's on YouTube. It's on social media. There's influencers everywhere. There's free information anywhere you look. You don't need it from us.
Amen.
You have to execute. That's it. Guys, my name's Todd Pultz. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Pultz.